Hey, welcome to Build&AI. I'm Nia, your AI learning guide. Let's get into it.
Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're tackling something that, let's be real, has probably caused you a headache or two. We are digging into one of the most notoriously misunderstood tools in modern web development. If you've ever felt like your React components just kind of have a mind of their own, you are definitely not alone. We're going to break down how the experts take React's useEffect and transform it from a chaotic source of infinite loops into a predictable, highly reliable tool. So, what actually happens when React steps outside of its nice, neat, predictable little world? Well, if we aren't careful, absolute danger. We are talking spinning CPU fans, console logs just flooded with red errors, and application-breaking bugs that will genuinely make you question your career choices. These nightmares strike the exact moment React stops its pure internal rendering process and reaches out to touch the outside world. To fix this, we've got to understand the beast we're trying to tame. Our sources define a side effect as basically any action where a component does something beyond pure rendering. In a pure render, the same props and state will always, predictably, produce the exact same visual result. But a side effect? It breaks that seal. It talks to a server, it sets a timer, or it saves data to local storage. And this matters because the second you touch the outside world, you lose React's built-in safety nets. So here is our roadmap for today. Number 1, the weapon component lifecycle. Number 2, aiming the weapon, the dependency array. Number 3, defusing the bomb, cleanups and infinite loops. Number 4, field training, fetching data safely. And finally, number 5, the laws of physics, hook rules. Let's get into it. Starting with section 1, the weapon component lifecycle. Every single React component goes through 3 distinct stages. Stage 1 is the mount. This is when the component is created and first pops onto the screen. Stage 2 is the update, where state or props change, triggering a re-render. And finally, stage 3 is the unmount. This is when the component is removed from the DOM, and crucially, its resources must be cleaned up. Truly understanding this timeline is the absolute foundation of side effect mastery. It's honestly kind of wild to look back at how we used to do this. Remember the old class-based architecture? Developers were forced to scatter their logic across all these different lifecycle methods, like component did mount and component did update. It meant duplicating logic all over the codebase. But the modern approach? It reveals the elegant power of functional components using the useEffect hook. It completely centralizes all of that fragmented logic into one single, highly readable declarative place. Moving right along to section 2, aiming the weapon, the dependency array. This is where we actually tell React exactly when to fire our side effect. Choosing the correct variant here is absolutely crucial. If you provide no dependency array at all, well, your effect runs after every single render. But if you drop in an empty array, it runs exactly once on mount, which is perfect for initialization and startup effects. And if you provide specific variables in that array, the effect will only fire when one of those specific values actually changes. Nailing this down is the real secret to preventing unnecessary executions. Which brings us to section 3, defusing the bomb, cleanups and infinite loops. Our sources highlight this really brilliant rule of thumb. A cleanup function is essentially the closing half of the open/close pattern. Think of it like walking through a physical door. If your effect opens a WebSocket connection, sets up an event listener, or starts a timer, you have opened a door. You absolutely must shut that door by returning a cleanup function when the component unmounts. If you don't, you're leaving ghost processes running in the background, and that directly causes massive memory leaks. And, well, if you skip that discipline, that's when you hit the root cause of the dreaded infinite loop. This absolute nightmare happens when an action inside the effect causes one of its own dependencies to change. You update a state variable, which triggers the effect, which updates the state again, and boom, you are trapped in an endless cycle of re-renders that will literally lock up your browser tab in seconds. So to avoid that, here is an actionable 5-step defense strategy you should run through before shipping any effect to production. Step 1, check if the effect modifies its own dependencies. Step 2, get rid of any inline functions in the array, memoize them instead. Step 3, if you just need to remember a value without triggering a render, use useRef. Step 4, always protect your state updates with logical stopping conditions. And step 5, trim that dependency array down to the absolute bare minimum. All right, on to section 4, field training, fetching data safely. Whenever a component needs to pull data from a server, you immediately run into a synchronization problem, right? The user is seeing the screen before the data actually arrives. To handle this gracefully, you've got to manage 3 distinct states. Loading means the request is currently in flight, no data yet. Data means the request succeeded and we're ready to show the UI. And error means, well, something went wrong and we need to display a fallback message. You've got to juggle all 3 inside your component state to ensure a smooth user experience. Now, it is super easy to fall into this massive anti-pattern, fetching directly in the main component body. If you do that, React is going to trigger a brand new network request every single time the component re-renders. Total chaos. The correct, safe approach is fetching inside a useEffect hook, and crucially, using an empty dependency array. This properly scopes the fetch so it runs exactly once immediately after that initial mount. Finally, we hit section 5, the laws of physics, hook rules. React relies heavily on a strictly predictable flow to associate state with the right component, and that brings us to the unbreakable rules. You must only call hooks at the very top level of your component, never inside conditionals, never inside loops or nested functions. Why? Because hooks absolutely must execute in the exact same order on every single render. If you break these rules, the execution order gets misaligned, giving you phantom state and these incredibly subtle bugs that, trust me, will only surface once your app is live in production. Now, for all the TypeScript users tuning in, there's a super common error to watch out for here. useEffect must return either void or a synchronous cleanup function. It can never return a promise. Making your useEffect callback directly async is a huge anti-pattern because, under the hood, async functions automatically return promises. Instead, the move is to declare an internal async function inside the effect and just call it right there. That keeps your typing strictly safe. And hey, speaking of cleanups, if you're fetching data, using an abort controller is literally a game changer for making those fetches cancelable. By returning controller.abort in your cleanup function, you properly type the cleanup, and more importantly, you instantly cancel any pending network requests if the user navigates away. This is exactly how you guarantee your application won't try to update state on a component that doesn't even exist anymore. So, we've explored the lifecycle, mastered the dependency array, safely fetched our data, and locked in the unbreakable laws of hooks. The ultimate question is, are you ready to apply this checklist to your next pull request and finally tame your React side effects? Or is your next component just going to be a ticking time bomb of infinite loops? It's time to dive into your codebase and find out.
And that's a wrap for today. If this lesson was helpful, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new episode. We drop 3 new lessons every single week, all designed to help you learn, build, and launch with AI. Share this with someone who's on the same journey, and I will see you in the next one.